So I am Brizio Biondi-Morra of the Avina Foundation. When it comes to the Social Progress Index, for me, it started in October 2008. It was the 100th anniversary of the Harvard Business School. I usually don't go to alumni reunion, but this time I say it happens once every 100 years, I better go. And I went. And I remember that the 2 previous years I was getting all kind of leaflets reminding me about the date and all the preparations they were doing. So they had 2 years to prepare. But nobody expected that October 2008, which was the time of the celebration, was going to be the heart of the world financial crisis. And I arrived there and you had players the world over that were gathering, all former classmates. And the general tone was everybody was caught by surprise. Nobody was expecting it. I remember the shock that all were living. And I remember Drew Faust, the president of Harvard, who asked a very pertinent question, referring to one of those workers in the Middle Ages that were working on a stone, but actually feeling they were building a cathedral. She said, "Are we aware that the cathedral is falling apart? And what are we doing about it?" I came out of that session with a strong feeling that something had to be done about it. Then, not much later, came the Arab Spring. And if you look at the countries where this so-called spring triggered, they were all doing okay as far as GNP. And obviously GNP is a very important indicator. And it's very important that we have economic growth. But somehow there was an entire relevant picture that was hidden from the data we were. And so that was another very important, really existential issue that came to me. And then when the initial idea of the index was brought by Michael Green and by Matthew Bishop, I immediately jumped at it. And as Avina, we were the ones who wanted to make it out of just an idea a game changer worldwide. And if I look at the partnership with Skoll and the joining of other great partners, it is at a tipping point. And it's very refreshing to see that more and more people say, aha, this is exactly what we're looking for. One of the things that surprised us as we developed the index is that it has a lot more conceptually than we ever expected. For us, as we initially conceived, it was a key tool for action, and it remains so for social progress action in a way that is actionable, with a breakdown on the ground that you can really make a diagnosis and a priority for action. But when it comes to the data and the insight, there is far more than just a tool. It's a new paradigm that is being created. And in that sense, it's relevant for almost every country. Countries that from an economic point of view are at the top of the list in the world, all of a sudden discover that indeed there is a methodology that can spot problems that up to now were considered a little soft. No, there is hard data that can be supported. And so this opens an entire chapter. Of course, we're not alone. We have all other efforts that are being done in that direction, either in particular areas or at a very macro level. But I think that this is likely to spur action at all levels. We were aware that this was going to be targeted at a country level, but we discovered that it can be at a continent level in terms of global strategies, and also at the sub-country level. That can be a particular region, especially in big countries like Brazil, like India, like China, like Russia, or at a different segment level, like for example a specific company that has a specific expertise in one field that is relevant for the index of social progress. Here you have a huge expertise that can channel productively to the benefit of society and to the benefit of the company too. If I was a social entrepreneur, whether I am for profit or for non-profit, I would look at the different parameters of the index for a particular country. And I would ask myself, where is my key expertise that can make a difference in improving some of the weak areas that every country has? And how does that area of expertise relate to other interrelated topics? Like water has to do with health, has to do with energy, has to do with agriculture, to do all kinds of things. And so all of a sudden, an action that might have been seen only from one angle, all of a sudden we can see it as it relates to the society as a whole. And if I am heading an NGO, or if I'm involved in a corporation, all of a sudden I see that I have incredible new potential allies to work for the same goal with the same complementary interests, each one providing something that the other doesn't have. This is fantastic. In today's world, we know that no one, no institution, no organization, no government can do it alone. And here, it's a way to say, well, these are my natural allies, and you have zillions more than I ever expected. I think if we look at it that way, all of a sudden, with the capability of networking we have with modern technology, internet, etc., all of a sudden, it's a new way of working. And it's a new way of multiplying productive results that is phenomenal. Sometimes I wish I had 50 years less so I could start all over again, because the opportunities now are much greater. It's exciting.